Hello, everybody. It's Damon. And yeah, I'm come back from a small, basically, not a hiatus, but basically, I wasn't feeling that well yesterday, last week, which is why I only did one video. So, today, I wanted to talk about basically the top 10 movies of 2025 up to date. So, I haven't seen one battle after another from Leonardo DiCaprio or the Smashing Machines with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which I imagine both of them will be very good. But in my opinion, I feel like the big movies or the period of basically the best quality movies is about to be over. I mean, after Smashing Machines will be what? There'll be the Running Man remake, there'll be Zootopia 2 and Avatar 3. I'm not expecting those movies to basically be in the top 10. Maybe in the 11th part, but not my top 10. So I might adjust it. I might put one battle after another. It might just be a standby for right now. Smashing Machine, I expect something. It might just not be my top 10. But up to date, the top 10 movies of 2025. I got some honorable mentions before we get there. The Accountant 2. The Accountant 2 was a very good action movie. Was what basically this case was basically like was it basically a road trip movie between basically Ben Affleck, the former Batman, and John Bernstall, the current Punisher. I thought was a very, very well done movie, very action filled. Uh, I prefer the first one still, but it was very fun. So that's the first one. Caught Stealing, yeah, with Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz, which I thought was very, very, very entertaining. It's with Darren Aronofsky, the same director who did Requiem for Dream, Pi, The Whale, The Wrestler, Black Swan. And I was surprised actually it made an upbeat action movie, which still has some basically some bleak darkness in it, but I still felt like it was a very good movie, very well done there. And the way they finish, it's like they could be a sequel, but honestly, I prefer not. It ended well and ended at the right time to end, and I like it for it to just respect its own ending and just end it there. Because, yeah, there's not many characters left in this. So that'll be this afterwards. Sorry, I'm just looking at my list. Um, Nobody 2. Nobody 2 was very fun, but I felt like was basically not as original as the first one. It's not a standalone. It was just an entertaining action fest that is not exceptional in any way. It was just fun. It was a good time in theater. But yeah, that's what it is. Uh, and yeah, like I said, Smashing Machine in one battle after another. Right now, I'm putting there in the honorable mention list because I know they'd be very good, but I don't think it's fair to place them right away because I didn't see them. So now let's go to top 10. Number 10, it's a tie with both superhero movies. It's Superman 2025 and Fantastic Four First Steps. First things first, I felt like the performance in both those movies were very well done. I cannot complain about anything there. Superman, I really, really enjoyed. I was very, very fascinated by Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I thought it was very, very well portrayed. He made him exude evil and ooze sliminess. I mean, I would dare say that in terms of live action movie, he might just be the best Lex Luthor since Gene Hackman. I mean, I don't think there's a competition there, but he was very good, and I'm very interested to see where Lex Luthor goes. Uh, I also liked it was the best Jimmy Olsen I've ever seen. I mean, Jimmy Olsen, the ladies' man angle in that movie really made me laugh, and I thought he didn't steal the show, but every time he was on screen, I couldn't stop but be interested in what would Jimmy Olsen do next, which I've never seen in a Superman movie before. That was this. Lois Lane, I don't remember the actress name, but I thought was very well done, very well portrayed. Uh, one of my and David Cornsweet, who played Superman. to me was a very good performance. I still prefer Henry Cavill, but this was still a very good performance, and I felt like James Gunn took him not just because a good actor, but he also physically looks a lot like Henry Cavill. So it's like if he took Henry Cavill and put him in another suit, it kind of felt like this. But the movie I thought was action based, was not too boring like Superman Returns. It wasn't corny like Superman 4 Quest for Peace. It wasn't hilarious like Superman 3, but I felt like it wasn't Superman 2025, it was Superman and the Justice Gang, because the Justice Gang are just as featured as Superman. And that's one of my qualms with this movie is I expect the movie of Superman that's centered about Superman. Superman 1 and 2 centers itself about Superman. Man of Steel, my third favorite Superman movie, live action Superman movie of all time, centers around Superman. This one tries to reboot the universe, but already is trying to juggle too many things at once. He has Superman, he has Metamorpho, he has Bizarro, he has the Engineer, he has Lex Luthor, he has Green Lantern, he has Hawkgirl, he has Mr. Terrific. Too many stuff at once. And again, the performances are excellent. I mean, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner actually made me really like the character, and I thought he looked stupid, but hey, it added to the charm of it. Though I still maintain that James Gunn is so obsessed about some things being comic book accurate that's not always necessary. And that obsession about becoming comic book accuracy is not always good and actually goes to the detriment of a movie sometimes. Mr. Terrific was played very well, and I found out that the actor who played Mr. Terrific actually was in X-Men First Class, was playing Darwin, and his character was one of the first X-Men being killed. And yeah, that's ridiculous there. Our Girl was very fun. Uh, like I said, the movie was good, except too many things at once, and too many times they tried to have humor that did not work. I mean, we get it, James Gunn. You love dogs. I love dogs as well. And Crypto is very funny, but guess what? I felt like it was every time there was a moment that was supposed to have some dramatic element, dramatic intensity, you undercut it right away because Crypto had to basically be disrupted dog. It was going to the point where I felt like I wanted that movie, I wanted the dog to disappear. It was that point. So I described this movie as what if Guardians of the Galaxy was replaced by Superman and the Justice Gang was basically what I got in that movie. Again, not a bad movie, not at all this. It was pretty good, but I think it's not great. And I think it's gross how many people are trying right now to basically make it seem like Man of Steel was not a success in terms of, and didn't gross that much money when basically Superman 2025 struggled to get to that same point. It will get the same point of money, but if one is a success, the other one has to be a success too. If one is a failure, so is the other one. Because the budget of Superman 2025 was $250 million. And to be honest with you, it's not a flop, but it's a mild success. But let's not get into that rant. I just want you to know my opinions of the movie, not about the opinion of the movie's budgets. So that's Superman. Fantastic Four, I was pleasantly surprised at that movie. I expected nothing. I expected to be bored out of my wits. And guess what? It wasn't. It wasn't boring. It was very fun. Uh, Vanessa Kirby is an excellent actress, and I thought that she really added a lot of depth and gravitas to her role as Invisible Woman. Joseph Quinn, who is known to play Eddie in Stranger Things, really uh, made sure to stand out above the rest in terms of as his performance as the Human Torch. Thing was good. Pedro Pascal, again, he was very good as Mr. Fantastic, but I'm kind of happy they're going to take a reprieve of Pedro Pascal in the movie for a while. Uh, what else? Paul Walter Hauser is often in movies. We see him. I like his role there. Julia Gardner also is getting, with this and Weapons, is getting a bit of resurgence since we didn't see her that much in the ending of Ozark, and I'm really happy to see her there. And she was very good in her role. Galactus was done very well, and yeah, I thought the whole movie was done very well, and I like the fact that the director, I don't know the director, made it about the Fantastic Four and not apart from basically the after credits scene. He didn't try to basically uh try to force feed some future Marvel installment slash homework on us. No, let's just focus on the movie first. Let's make it stand alone. And I love that. But so I'm not sure if the movie did not recoup the money, which is a shame because it's very, very well done. So yeah, that would be this. Number 10. And also I want to add Thunderbolts as a honorable mention. Was pretty good, but at this point, Marvel is the fact that I say a movie is pretty good, like Fantastic Four. It's like these days I'm just expecting a movie from Marvel to be, okay, it's going on. It is what it is, but I'm not expecting to be wowed anymore by Marvel. But that's number 10. Number 9, talk about Julia Garner. Weapons. I really love that horror movie. It was very creepy. I mean, it's about the disappearance of a whole class of students and basically how it affects everybody in that town, which played basically with Julia Garner, was the main character there. It also played into basically Benedict Wong, so Benedict Wong's character, as well as Josh Brolin's character. And that's a very, very well done horror slash thriller movie, and uh, I'd like to say more about it, but if I say more, I'll spoil it. So I'd rather not. So it's a very, very well done movie, and I like that some horror movies nowadays uh get a bit more attention nowadays because I think like these days comedies and horror movies are the one taking the risks and actually are being more creative. So it's more fulfilling in the long run. So that would be this. It's like I like the fact that it's well, basically it's like the movie Magnolia where we follow a lot of characters in that movie. Sure, Justin, played by Julia Garner, is the main character, but do follow a lot of characters in that movie, and it's very, very uh, very fulfilling. The ending is both hilarious and gratifying. So that's number 9. Number 8, I just saw it yesterday, The Long Walk, the movie by basically that was based on the book from Stephen King that was directed by the director of the Hunger Games series, Francis Lawrence. I expected an okay movie. I got a great movie when I saw that. I was amazed by the performance in The Long Walk. I mean, especially David Johnson was an excellent performance there. I was surprised the main character was Cooper Hoffman, who's the son of the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. And it showed not just in their resemblance, but in terms of acting wise, uh, it was very well done. That's the first time I've ever seen Mark Hamill as the bad guy of a movie, not Joker name. So in live action is the first time, and he played a sleazy bad guy in this one. He was basically a sleazy, uh, he played the major who lacks any hint of morality in him. He does have an iota of goodwill. And in this movie, everybody, like there's 50 boys who are basically participating in the long walk, which is a competition, basically where they have to walk just until there's only one person still walking. You stop walking for basically after 3 warnings, and the person gets a ticket, gets written off in other words. I really like for a movie that's supposed to be about the bleak nature of this contest. There's a lot of camaraderie in this. There's a lot about, helping each other, about a love between friendship. And I really, really enjoyed this movie. I cannot recommend it any more than I could. It's 108 minutes or 150 minutes. Regardless, really hope he gets back his budget because that'd be a great win for Lionsgate. But it's also the fact of when it's an original movie, or in this case, a very well done movie, I really want to see it succeed. I mean, last Stephen King adaptation that was really good. Yeah, there was a miss, but there's also The Shawshank Redemption, which was one of the greatest movies of all time. And I like to see it recoup some of the money because it was very good, and I would love to see it get nominated the Oscars. But that's one thing at a time. That's one thing. Also, Ben Wang from Karate Kid Legends is in there, and he plays a very funny, very deeply rigid person. In that case, was Hank Holson. So very well done movie. So that's for number eight. Now to something less, uh, not as dark as the other ones, but very fun. Was a Netflix only movie called K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm surprised today to say that it just might be my favorite animated movie this year. I mean, it follows basically in this case, it follows three um, three demon hunters who also play in a gang and basically play in a K-pop girl group. It's Rumi, Mira, Zoe. In this case, Rumi, that's in this case is the leader of this, is a singer. Mira is basically the tough, badass, uh, surly lady, whereas Zoe is more that basically I'll say this, the cheerful, always basically trying to please everybody. She's always trying to please everybody in her between her friends. And yeah, Rumi, that's not a spoiler. Basically, the Rumi is a half demon, half hunter. So basically half demon, half human, and basically tries to hide it from her friends. And all of them are under the guidance of Celine. And the songs, in this case, they kill demons while playing their songs. The songs can be very catchy, very fun. They're very, very fun. And I thought um, the graphics of the movie, the visuals are very well done. The movie mixes a lot of makes sometimes some deep messages with a lot of humor, and it's done right. This is a movie that I wish was in movie theaters because honestly, I felt like I should have paid for that movie. I should have paid to see that movie because it was entertaining, it was fun, it did not exceed its welcome, and the moment it was finished, it was finished. It doesn't need a sequel. I know it's going to be a sequel, but it didn't need to. This movie is about self-acceptance, about healing, the healing process, and you can easily see the demons that they're finding as basically negative thoughts in your head, or basically problems you could have, or any bits of negative uh, perceptions you could have about your own self. So I really like that movie, and again I think it should win in terms of best animated movies this year. That's number seven. Number six, Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage, Elijah Wood, and Kevin Bacon. From the moment this happened, I damn well knew that Kevin Bacon was playing the bad guy. I don't care. To me, it was a very, very entertaining movie, and truth be told, I laughed a lot that movie. I described it to somebody that as if it's like a B movie. It was basically not just a remake of the original Toxic Avenger, but it felt also like, what if Machete, what if the same people behind Machete did Toxic Avengers? Because there's a lot of comedies that you saw in Machete, you saw it there. And it's also, I felt like, yeah, it's a superhero movie, but some things were making fun of superhero movies. For example, in this case, it made me laugh out loud when one of the montage of the Toxic Avenger, uh, one of the person who saved Toxic Avenger's life was basically with great responsibility comes something. They said comes something rather than with great power comes something rather than saying great responsibilities, like the Spider-Man quote. And to me, those things are very hilarious. Also, yeah, it's very violent, but I felt like it's very hilarious because it's usually the violent nature of it comes in response to when the Toxic Avenger, spoiler alert, kills bad guys. And that's hilarious. So Kevin Bacon played a cheesy, hammy bad guy, and I could tell he had a lot of fun with that. I mean, Taylor Page was very good in her role as well, and Bacon and Taylor Page were both in the last Beverly Hills Cop 8 Axel F movie, which was very good. But it's a mini reunion of the sort in this movie. But Jacob Tremblay played a great role in the Toxic Avenger son. Elijah Wood, I thought was the guy who stole the show in this movie as Fritz. I don't remember the last name. Fritz Garbinger, I think. Yeah, I thought it was very weird that Frodo I know he's been Kevin. He played Kevin in Sin City, but I thought it was very weird, very very weird seeing him as Fritz. He played it. I was reminded of Danny DeVito's Penguin. The way was this guy is there. And by the way, FYI, we always talk about Oscars messing it up, but Razzies mess it up too, because sometimes they nominate. I found out like several weeks back that Danny DeVito was nominated for Razzies for Batman Return when he played an excellent Penguin, or Al Pacino was nominated for Razzies for playing Tony Montana in Scarface. Yeah, Razzies are just as bad as the Oscars. They're just as biased as the Oscars. So that's an aside. But going back to the movie, I mean, I like the fact it's an hour and 30 minutes. When I went to see the movie, I thought I didn't have to pay the full admission price. It was like half of it, and I felt like I should have paid the whole entire. I should have paid the entire admission price. So, I mean, I want to encourage this movie to get kind of more money, and I would like to see a Toxic Avenger too. I dare say it was my favorite superhero movie this year. Was it the best one? Maybe not, but it's my favorite one. It's the one I had the most fun with. It didn't pretend to be something else. It wasn't trying to be preachy. It wasn't trying to spread stupidity. It just wanted to be what it is and be loyal to what it was. And it succeeded on both accounts. So I recommend you see it. I'm not sure if it's still going to be in theaters, but I recommend you go see it. That's for number six. Number five, I'll call it Naked Gun 4 because it's what it is. I mean, it's the same. It's a sequel to the original Naked Gun trilogy, which, as you know, it's in my favorite one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. Of all time. And now we got Naked Gun 4, which I think could have come at a better time because not just because it's August, but because people don't expect comedies to make them laugh anymore. And while it wasn't the same kind of humor as in the original Naked Gun trilogy, because it was more Naked Gun trilogy, the original, it felt like it was more ripping off maybe or making fun of some movies, some serious movies of the 70s to the 80s, and it also made fun of base kind of movies that Leslie Nielsen would have been the star of in the past. This time it felt like let's take a riff on Liam Neeson kind of movies. And the movie score was kind of serious. I look at this, it's done by Lauren Balfe, I think. And uh, sorry if I mispronounced the name, but for a movie that's supposed to be about a naked gun, I was surprised that the movie score was kind of serious. Oh, sorry, Lauren Balfe. Sorry, Lauren Balfe. And I thought it was very, very surprising that it was a serious score. And then the movie, the beginning of the movie, like when they go to the bank heist, and I was just like laughing in the movie theater, saying to my girlfriend, "Hey, I think they're doing a little bit of Dark Knight here." And it's like it was serious until basically what they're trying to solve was kind of like called basically the plot device, and then we start both laughing. It's like, okay, it takes a riff at those kind of movies, but Liam Neeson as Frank Durbin Jr. was excellent. He really, really captured the little characteristics that make Frank Drebin in the original trilogies hilarious. Like he played it serious in a but he would play serious. He played an idiot person very seriously, and that's the point. Um, I also really like Pamela Anderson in that movie. I thought that might just be one of the best roles ever. I mean, she played her. She's already a very pretty person, but she played her character. I don't remember the name, but very, very funnily. Paul Walter Hauser. Sorry, I was going to say Paul Michael. Paul Walter Hauser was very, very good in the movie again, a supporting character. Dan Houston as a bad guy was very sleazy, and the only thing I didn't like about that movie, I don't need to tell you the twist, but it's like every Naked Gun movie villain always has a great death in the movie. The first one was Steamroller, the second one the Lion, and third one basically like basically his head in the toilet. This one there wasn't. He just got arrested. That's the only thing I didn't like. Because everything else, it's like, okay, There's a laugh a minute, and there's some jokes that aren't as funny, but it's also because you're distracted by something else in the background, something else, another joke that you didn't pay full attention to it. Again, I'm not gonna say it's as good as the first three movies, but it's very good and something that's more than worth buying on DVD. So that's a Jeremy John reference, by the way. So if you caught it. So that's number five. Number four, it's a tie between Mission Impossible: Dead Protocol and Ballerina. Ballerina was very good, was maybe the least good of the John Wick style movies, but it was very good. So Ana de Armas really played a great role. And I like that they basically, unlike other movies, like for example, Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, they didn't try to nerf the original cast. They didn't try to nerf Keanu Reeves as John Wick. He's still as powerful, and Ana de Armas' character is very powerful, but just not as much because simply reason is John Wick has been in business longer, has basically had more, bigger stakes, basically bigger stakes, and train harder, longer, did his profession for a longer amount of time, get more experience, get more expertise, and that's it. That's why. So yeah, that to me was a very good movie. Uh, that was for John Wick from the world of John Wick Ballerina. Also, Mission Impossible: Dead Protocol. Now, I prefer Fallout, and I'll dare say that since Ghost Protocol, this is the weakest entry of the list, because one of the reasons why I wanted to love it even more, the reason I didn't was because it was way too long. 2 hours and 50 minutes was way too long for a movie of the caliber of this. 2 hours, 30 minutes, I get it, it's the last installment with Tom Cruise. You want to end it well. You cannot have just 1 hour and 40 minutes. I get that one. But there felt like it was 20 minutes of scene that, quite frankly, felt like was superfluous, that didn't need to happen. We just put in there because, hey, people will like it. It's Tom Cruise. La, 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 la. That's it. I don't need to describe the story. It's Tom Cruise. It's an action movie. It's Mission Impossible. It's very good. And it completes the series. Like, even if the movie wasn't as satisfying as the other ones, I'm not disappointed by the whole series. I'll dare say, if I ever do uh, a video about the best series, and I do mean a best series from beginning to end, it'll be on my list. It just so happens that the Final Reckoning, Death Reckoning was very good, but that Final Reckoning was to me the least interesting movie of Mission Impossible since Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol. That's it. Now we're going to top three. I'm surprised I'm going to put a top three. I never expected this to happen, but I couldn't expect it. I don't think I would ask myself, basically, like the last 16 years, that 1 year a Final Destination movie would be my top three or my top 10, let alone top three. But in this case, it is the case. Final Destination Bloodline, which might be my favorite Final Destination since the first one. This is an excellent movie. And I felt like for that kind of movie, you think, okay, there'll be dumb characters, be stupid characters, some characters that quite frankly don't care for. But honestly, I felt like a lot of the characters, the main cast of characters, had a lot of heart. They weren't jerks. They might have been stupid, but they weren't jerks. And I remember the Eric character, I mean, he didn't have to involve himself because he wasn't targeted by this curse. And he still decided, I need to help out my brother. And I thought that was very sweet there. It's like, okay, he didn't have to. He wasn't in danger, but he still chose to help his family. So there's a lot of heart there. Uh, sure, there's gruesome deaths in the movie, and sometimes the point was cartoony, but there's also a bit of heart in there. The late great Tony Todd filmed his last scene for that movie. He does a cameo in the movie, and I thought that cameo was very well done. It was very emotional. For that kind of movie, it was emotional. And he retires his character with class. And yeah, it's a movie that's very, very fun. Again, I'm not gonna say it should win an Oscar, but I feel like it deserves a lot more love in general in public. So that's number three. Number two, my favorite movie this summer, F1. Surprisingly, I'm not a huge Formula One fan. My dad is, my brother is, my uncle is, I'm not. Maybe it's because, like, I don't know, even in terms of racing video games, I'm not that much of a fan, bar maybe Mario Kart. I'm not. I don't have it in me. However, it's a Joseph Kosinski movie. Who's Joseph Kosinski? He was the director of the awesome movie called Top Gun Maverick. In this case, it's kind of true that basically it's Top Gun Maverick, but for Formula One. That's what he did, and with Brad Pitt as the main character. Brad Pitt is the quintessential. He's a typical cool guy in those kind of movies. It's like he exudes coolness, just like he did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or in Inglourious Bastards. He's the cool guy in the movie. Every time you see on screen, he's so cool. He's cooler than everybody else. Even people who are younger than him, he's cooler. He feels like the old cowboy who's remaining this because he still feels like he doesn't feel fulfilled. He still has to fulfill a goal of his. And he doesn't quit until he gets his way. He doesn't quit until he gets to fulfill his goal. So I was really, really took by this character, and yeah, was really took by his character. Was I feel like he should still be nominated the Oscars, maybe not winning, but he should be nominated for Best Actor. It was a very good performance. The score by Hans Zimmer, as always, it's Hans Zimmer. It's excellent. So, what else can I say about this movie without revealing too much of the story? It might be 10 minutes too long, but I don't regret it. Those 10 minutes still at a point. I wouldn't have basically kept those 10 minutes, but there was a point for those. So, yeah, it's a movie that I recommend highly, whether you like Formula One racing or not, watch that movie. So, the number one movie of the year to me, I've seen around May or April, it's Sinners, with Michael B. Jordan playing both twin brothers, play Stax and Smoke. Yes, it is true. It seems to be inspired a lot by From Dusk Till Dawn, and it had a lot of help also in terms of beat because it was a film in IMAX with help from Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan was helped out. He did film him, sorry, but he helped out Ryan Coogler to better secure good IMAX footage of that movie. But I really, really like that movie. It's basically identical twins, both played by Michael B. Jordan, Stack and Smoke. Basically, they basically they stole money from gangsters, and they tried to open up a bar, basically together. And so they open a bar. Basically, they recruit many people there, and basically as well as with not just Smoke's wife. Basically, they would also get other people there, but out of nowhere, a vampire called Remick tries to enter his and enter that bar. Basically, this in order to try to transform them into vampires. Hallie Steinfeld, who's Stack's girlfriend in that movie, uh, is the first one basically that be caught in that trap. And the whole movie, just like From Dusk Till Dawn, is to see who can survive, what to do against a threat of vampires, and how to survive. But at the same time, I felt like it wasn't just vampire. It also it transcended just being vampirism. It's also the human condition about fulfillment, basically how to achieve your true nature. I felt like there was a lot of deepness in that movie, and the score is amazing. And it's by Ludwig Göransson, who I feel like might not be Hans Zimmer, but I think might be the guy who, when Hans Zimmer, Danny Elfman retires, when both of them retire, I think he's gonna be the number one score composer. But the music is awesome in that movie. The acting is awesome. Ellie Steinfeld should definitely be nominated for Best Supporting Actress because I haven't seen her act that way since True Grit in 2000, 10. And Remick as well was a very good charismatic villain. So I think I think that's my movie of the year, and I think I'm gonna whenever I can, I'll buy it on DVD. So that's my list. So to recap, my top 10. Number 10, Superman 2025 and Fantastic Four First Step in the Time. Number 9, Weapons. Number 8, The Long Walk. Number 7, K-pop Demon Hunters. Number 6, Toxic Avenger. Number 5, Naked Gun 4. Number 4, as a tie, From the World of John Wick Ballerina and Mission Impossible 8, better known as the Final Reckoning. Number 3, Final Destination Bloodlines. Number 2, Sinners. Number 2, F1 the movie, and number 1, Sinners. So on that note, let me know what you think in the comments below. I have to go. See you later, guys.